Hello techies. In the previous tutorial, we have added static data to the work items in Azure boards by using Invoke Web Service action. Till now, we'll see how to add work items in Azure board dynamically by getting data from the Excel. Alright, let's open the Excel. I'm having the Excel name with the name of project management. Now, if you see over here, I'm having some of the work items over here. Work item type you can see over here. One is task, epic, and issue. And the respective titles over here you can see for the respective work item type, right? And assigned, it is not assigned to anyone. And the state, which are there in to-do state. And the area path, these are all in milestone. And the iteration, we are having milestone, another one, milestone slash sprint one. And the tags and comments are blank. Now what we are going to do, we are going to add this data dynamically to the work items by using Invoke Web Service action as well as Excel automation. Now I want to read the data from the Excel. In that case, what we are going to do, we are going to use Excel automation. Let's expand Excel. There I'm going to use launch Excel and close Excel as a best practice. Let me drag and drop these two actions onto the workspace. Now over here, I'm going to give the parameters for the launch Excel. Launch Excel, I'm going to open the existing document, open the following document, and then I'm going to give the path over here. The path where I'm having the project management Excel file, right? I'm going to the path by selecting file, and then I have selected the file over there. Now, as a next parameter, make instance visible. I don't want to make the instance visible, so that I'm going to disable this, and then open as read only, I'm going to make it as false. And then I'm going to click on save. Now, as a best practice, whenever you are going to launch an Excel, at the same time, you are going to close the Excel also. Let me drag and drop this close Excel action onto the workspace. Now, I'm going to select the instance, Excel instance as Excel instance, where already we got the instance from the launch Excel. All right. Now, before going to close the Excel, I'm going to save the document if there is any changes in the document. All right. Let me select the save document, and then I'm going to click on save. Now, I want to get the first free rows or column from the Excel worksheet. Now, let me go back to the Excel once again. There you can see, I need to get the entire data. You can see over here, I'm having columns and rows, right? I want to get the entire data over here, including columns as well as the rows. But before reading the data by using read from Excel worksheet, I want to know how many number of rows and columns that I'm having in the particular Excel. How can I go ahead and get it? Here is the action that we have, that is get first free column slash row from Excel. By using this action, you can get the first free column and as well as the rows which are there in the active worksheet. By using this action, you can get the details in a such way how many number of rows that we have in the particular Excel sheet, as well as we can get the n number of rows in the n number of columns in the Excel which are there in the active worksheet. All right, let me drag and drop this action onto the workspace inside launch Excel as well as close Excel in between these two actions. Now you can see over here, I'm having Excel instance there, which we are going to use to retrieve the data from the particular Excel sheet. There you can see the variables produced. I'm having first free column and as well as first free row. Now let me click on save. Now what will happen? You can see over here how many columns that we are having. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm having 9 columns, and you can see 5 rows that I'm having. Over here, by using get first free column slash row, you will get an output in such a way. First free column as 10th column and the first free row as 6. You can see over here, I'm having 6th row is the free, and there J column, I'm having free columns, right? But you may ask, I don't have any data, but here the columns are there so that it will be considered as the data. All right, so that you will get the output over here, the first free column as 10 and the first free row as 6. All right, now we got the required rows of columns, required number of columns and required number of rows by using get first free column slash row from the Excel worksheet action. Now, I want to read the data from the Excel, right? Whatever the data that I'm having inside my entire Excel, which is there in the active worksheet, worksheet 1, I need to read the data. How can I go ahead and read the data? By using read from Excel worksheet action. Let me drag and drop this action onto the workspace after get first free column slash row action. Now, over here you can see Excel instance. I'm having same Excel instance, that is which we are having for the launch Excel. And after that, I'm going to retrieve the data. I want to retrieve the data, entire data. How can I retrieve it? I'm going to select from the values from the range of the cells. All right. Now I'm going to give the starting column as A and the starting row as 1. Now, what are the end columns that we have? Now, if you see over here, by using our get first free column slash row, that we got the columns as well as rows. All right. So I got 10 rows and I got 10 columns and 6 rows, right? I'm going to decrease the value by 1 because of I'm having the empty column and the empty row. So that I'm going to select the variable for the end column as first free column minus 1, so that I will get 9 columns. In the same way, end row also what I will do, I will get it first free row minus 1. So by using this dynamic values from the variable, that is first free column as well as first free row, I will get all the data inside my Excel sheet. Now that's the reason we are going to use get first free column slash row from Excel. Now let me go to the advanced over here to make you understand. Now in my Excel, we got the data of first free column as well as first free row. Along with that, you can see over here, I'm starting the column from A1 and that is column A and the row is 1. Now the first row I'm having over here as column, right? These are all the headers over there in the Excel sheet. So that what I'm going to make it, you can see over here, first line of range contains column names. I'm going to make it enable, so that what will happen, this data, only the data I will get it in a such a way, I will get the data from here only. This is the selected data only I will get it. All right. Now that's the reason I'm going to make it first line of range contains column names. Now let me click on save. Now to make you understand, I'm going to run these 4 actions. One is launch Excel, get first free column slash row from the Excel, and then I'm going to read from Excel worksheet action. All right. Before that, I'm going to disable this action, which is Invoke Web Service. Now let's run the flow to see the output. Flow execution started. Now you can see over here, by using get first free column slash row, I got it the first free column variable output as 10 and first free row as 6 over here. And you can see the data over here inside the Excel data, which we are going to get the data from by using read from Excel worksheet action. Let me open the Excel data over here. And you can see over here, the columns I'm having ID, work item type, because of we are having the first column we have selected as the column names, right? You got it, right? Why I have selected the property over there as enable for the first columns as names, right? Now you can see I'm having task names and all the data we have read it by using read from Excel worksheet action. Let me click on close. Now we got the data into the Excel data by using read from Excel worksheet action. Now I need to post this data into the DevOps. How can I post it? I'm going to loop through the Excel data, and then every item or work item type, I'm going to post this data into the DevOps by using Invoke Web Service action. Now I'm going to use for each action. Let me drag and drop this action after read from Excel worksheet. For each action, I'm going to use value to iterate, that is Excel data. I want to iterate through Excel data, and I'm going to store the data inside the current item. Let me click on save. Now I'm going to drag and drop this invoke web service action inside for each action. Let me drag and drop. Let me enable this invoke web service action. Now over here, if you observe over here, let me double click the invoke web service. Over here, I'm going to pass the data over here. You can see over here, $issue. If it is the issue kind of thing, the work item type is issue. In that case, I'm going to create a task in the DevOps Azure as issue. If it is a task, then I will pass it as task. If it is the epic, then in that case, I have to pass the value as epic. How can I go ahead and pass the value in such a way? Now, let me cancel that. I'm going to get this data inside my Excel data over here. There you can see the work item type I'm having. That is, one is task, epic, and issue. I'm going to pass these values in the invoke web service action dynamically. How can I pass the values? I'm going to give the value as current item of 1. So that the current item of 1 is nothing but, you can see, if you see in the Excel data that I'm having current item of 0 as IDs and current item of 1 is work item type. So that I'm going to pass these values as current item of 0. All right. Now let me close this and let's open Invoke Web Service once again. Over here in the URL, I'm going to pass this static data. In place of issue, I'm going to pass the dynamic values from the variables. So that I'm going to select the variable over here and I'm going to select current item. Current item having the values. So current item of 1 is the work item type. So that every iteration, you will get the different types of work items in a such a way, task, epic, and issues, you will get it. All right. Now over here you can see we are having one more thing over here in such a way. I'm having value also. The value, we are having the title, we have to pass it. So that in the same way, current item of 1 having the work item type. Another one, current item of 2 is the title. We need to pass the title over here. So that I'm going to select the variable once again over here. I'm going to select current item of 2. Index 2 I'm going to select. So that we are going to add the values over there. Now if you see over here, in the same way, for iteration path also we are having different values. Now if you see over here, I'm having iteration over here in such a way, work item type is 1, another one title is 2, assign 3, 4, 5, and iteration is 6. So current item of 6 I will give it over here in the iteration path. Now I'm going to select the variable and I'm going to select current item of index 6. Index 6 is nothing but we are having iteration path. All right. Now if you see, the output will be stored in the variables produced, that is web service response and web service headers, and the status codes will be stored in different variables. All right. Now let's click on save. Now, for each and every record inside my Excel, it will go through the loop and then it will insert the data into the Azure boards for the different work item types. All right. Now, we will get the output in such a way for the web service response headers as well as the web service response. And the status code will get it for the successful request and response, will get 200 status. Right. Now, once we got the output from the invoke web service action, I need to insert the data into my Excel once again. There you can see I'm having the IDs. Whatever the IDs which we are going to get it from the invoke web service action as an output, I need to store the data inside my Excel in IDs column. How can I go ahead and do that? Whatever the value, whatever the output we are going to get it from the invoke web service action, first we need to convert that JSON to custom object. Then only we can write the data into the Excel worksheet. How can I go ahead and convert the JSON into the custom object? There I am having an action called convert JSON to custom object. Let me drag and drop this action inside my for each action after invoke web service. If you see over here, I need to select the parameter to convert the JSON into the JSON custom object. What is the variable that we are going to get it? That is web service response. Let me select the variable that is web service response text value. And then the value will be converted into the JSON custom object. The variable output we have given it as JSON as custom object. All right. Let me click on save. Now we have converted the JSON into the custom object. Now I want to write the data into the Excel. How can we do that? By using write to Excel worksheet action. Let me drag and drop this action into the for each action. Now, if you see the parameters for the write to Excel worksheet, Excel instance, I'm going to use the Excel instance and value to write. What is the value to write? In my JSON, I will get the output as custom object of ID, right? I have converted that JSON into custom object. Inside that, I will get the ID. Now, the value to write, I'm going to select JSON custom object. Inside that, I'm having ID is the parameter. Now, if you see over here, I want to write the value mode on the specified cell because of every time I need to write the specific value in each and every row, right? In the specific cell. But how can I get the values over here as 1, 2, 3, and so on? Now, what I can do, I'm going to increase the value by 1 for the each and every row. But the column is static over there, first column itself. So that I'm going to give the column number as 1 and I have to give the row number as dynamic row. I need to increase for each and every loop. I need to increase the value. So that for the time being, I'm going to give it as 0 and then I'm going to click on save. Now, to increase the row number, what I have to do, I will set the variable first by using set variable action. Now, let me drag and drop this set variable before for each action. I'm going to set the variable name as row number and then I'm going to give the value as starting value as 1. I will let you know why I have given this value as 1 and then I'm going to click on save. Now, whenever I'm going to use for each action, I'm going to increase the value by 1. So how can I go ahead and do that? By using increase variable action. Let me drag and drop this increase variable inside for each action. And now the value to increase by 1, what is the variable name? That is row number. I'm going to select variable name as row number. And then increase by 1. I'm going to increase 1 by 1 value so that I have given increase by 1. And then I'm going to click on save. Now we will know why we have set the variable as row number equal to 1 and why we are going to increase by 1. Now if you see over here inside my Excel, if I'm going to make it 1, the row number 1, you can see over here what is the value that I'm having, all our columns, right? Now I have given 1, I'm going to increase by 1. So what will happen? The starting value, whenever you are going to write the data, it will come as 2. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So that it will write the data into the second row and then every action, it is going to be increased. Every iteration, it is going to be increased by 1. So it will come 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the reason we have given the set variable for row number as 1 and then before going to post the data inside to Azure DevOps, we have increased the variable by 1. And then I'm going to change the values over here in the write to Excel worksheet for the row number. I'm going to make it row number over here for the row parameter. There you can see in the row, I'm going to select row number as the variable. Now I'm going to click on save. Now our entire flow is ready to post the data inside the Azure boards and then whatever the IDs that we are going to get it from the Azure boards by using Invoke Web Service action, we are going to write the data after converting the JSON into the custom object and then we are going to write the data into the Excel by using write to Excel worksheet. All right. Now, if you go back to the organization that is Learning Technologies tool and then if I'm going to the milestone is my project. Inside that, I'm going for the boards and work items. Let's click on work items. There you can see previously we have added manually 2 work items. That is work item ID 1 and 2. One is task, another one is the issue, right? Now, whenever we're going to add the work items by using Excel automation, there we will get another IDs that has 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the respective work item types in the Azure boards. All right. Now, let's run the flow to see the output. Flow execution started. Now it is fetching the data, that is first free column and free first row, as well as it is reading the data from the Excel worksheet actions. And then if you see over here, it is trying to post the data inside the Azure boards by using Invoke Web Service action. At the same time, there you can see the status codes over here that has 200, and then the respective IDs. You can get the IDs over here as a response from the web service response. Now, after completion of all the iteration, it will save the data and then it will close the Excel by using close Excel action after writing the data into the Excel. Now, our flow has executed successfully. Now, let's go back to Azure boards and then I'm going to refresh the boards once again by clicking on refresh. Now, if you see over here, I have added 4 work items. 2 are the task, another one is epic, another one is issue. With the IDs 3, 4, 5, 6 by using invoke web service action. Alright. Now the same values, IDs are there inserted or there in the particular Excel. We'll see that one also. Let me open the Excel once again. Now if you see over here that we got the values as 3, 4, 5, 6 IDs has been returned successfully, which we got it from the Azure boards by using Invoke Web Service action. There you can see I'm having 4 and 6 are the work items which are having iteration path as milestone slash sprint 1. We'll see that one again. Now for the 4 and 6, right? You can see the task over there as 4. Let's select that. Test the bot as a title. Let's select that. There you can see for the area we have given it as milestone and the iteration path we have given it as milestone slash sprint 1. All right. We have successfully automated to post the data into Azure DevOps boards by using Azure DevOps REST API. In the next tutorial, we will learn how to update the work items by using Invoke Web Service action.